For quite a while now, these people have been falling from the sky above our town. It is not easy to survive, though some of them manage. It is a problem we all have been dealing with. My mother, being my mother, brings religion into it. She says these people are being punished, that they are fleeing a wickedness we cannot see. I admit I used to believe her. Nowadays, I think it's probably just bad luck. Once, when I was little, a woman fell into our backyard. I found her climbing down the treehouse ladder, naked and trembling, the whole left side of her body blood purple like smashed blackberry cobbler.
Is this Chicago?
No, this is Versailles.
Where?
Versailles.
Do you mean Versailles?
No, it's pronounced Versailles. Versailles, Indiana. When I called out for my mother, she brought out one of our old blankets and some bottled water and placed them into the woman's battered arms.
You could very well get to Chicago if you caught the bus out of town at 4.
But the woman didn't have any money for bus fare, and my mother wouldn't give her any. The woman ended up staying in town for 20 years. She got a job first at Keegan's bagging groceries, touting for tips at TJ Todd's Cafe and Cigar Emporium. I felt sorry for her, always smelling like smoke. She didn't have much to say to anyone. Sometimes she gathered with other survivors who'd stuck around for reasons they never explained, not so much talking to them as sharing anxious glances like they were all in some terrible secret, like the danger in the unknown place they had come from was still with them, tucked like a pill down the backs of their throats. I don't know. They never told us about it. That made some folks in town uneasy, which I get. At best, it was impolite of them. Last September, I heard that woman finally followed my mother's advice and had moved on. I don't know if she ever made it to Chicago. Now that I'm an adult with a child of my own, I make it my job to attend town meetings where we can talk about this problem with open minds. The hardliners among us would like to mount spikes on our roofs as a deterrent. You can bet nobody'd fall within 50 miles of here, they say, but the kindest among us would like to install nets. We are proud of being kind. Eventually, we reach a compromise in the form of nets woven out of razor wire. I admit, it took me a while to tell him. Whenever we heard the screams dropping in from the sky, I used to say it was only stars. This is the noise that they make before they hit the ground. My father told me when I was growing up that the noises I heard were just simply falling stars, but I knew better than this. We lived in a small suburb where we saw new people appear all battered and bruised, working manual jobs all around the area. I talked to my friends about the, quote, falling stars, but then they told me the truth about what their parents had told them. Then I went to talk to my father about the people who fell from the sky and where they went when they fell. Well, those who survived the fall into the nets above our houses get taken into the old summer campgrounds just outside of town and are taught how to perform the jobs you see them doing around town. They are kept there for a long time before you see them back out here. About 2 weeks later, I heard a thump on the roof early in the morning. I knew what had happened, and I wasn't ready. My father jumped up out of bed and ran to the backyard to see who had gotten caught in the net. There sat a battered woman, crying out in pain. We looked at each other and knew exactly what we had to do. Loading her into the back of our car, we took her to the old summer campgrounds with the rest of the people who had fallen from the sky. We handed her to the security officers at the summer camp, and then we never saw her again.